Johnson on the bottom of the racetrack. He'll make up some serious ground, this time off 4.
7 laps to go, and 6-time Jimmie Johnson giving it one more shot to try to wrestle this race away from Brad Keselowski. We'll call it 4 car lengths from Keselowski back to Johnson.
Twice, Jimmie has settled back a car length or 2, only to make another strong run. I think one more at least is still remaining in the blue Lowe's machine as Johnson tries to chase down Keselowski.
Down the backstretch once again. Keselowski out in front by 4 car lengths. Jimmie Johnson now looks under the bottom of Keselowski. Keselowski right in the middle of the racetrack. Brad will hold the top side of the racetrack all 4.
Again, Johnson makes up more ground. Just 6 laps to go. Keselowski clinging to the number 1 spot. Johnson again trying to track him down.
Still time as this front pair begins to close in on a couple of lap machines. Could they play a factor before this is over? Johnson creeping closer, just a car length behind.
Jimmie Johnson using the bottom of the racetrack in 1 and 2. We'll see what he'll do this time in 3 and 4. They are going to be catching some lap traffic here. Johnson now pulls within 1 car length of Brad Keselowski. We'll hold it at 1 car length as they stay in each other's tire tracks all 4.
With just 5 laps to go, Jimmie Johnson's trying to give the fans an exciting finish here at Texas as he has caught Brad Keselowski, catching him one thing, passing a different story. Down to 1. Here goes Johnson.
Jimmie Johnson dives way to the bottom of the racetrack. Brad Keselowski tries to block. Johnson still sits right on his back bumper.
Keselowski trying to hold on to the lead. Now down the backstretch one more time. He's got the lap car of Casey Mears right in front. Jimmie Johnson going to the whip, going to the bottom of the racetrack. He's going to get alongside of Keselowski. Keselowski fights back.
Jimmie Johnson is there. Keselowski across the stripe with 4 laps to go remains the leader. Johnson, though, gets a little bit closer as they climb the banking one more time.
2 former champions going at it right now for the win here at Texas. And a punch ticket for Keselowski and a denied one in store for Johnson. If he can get around, here he comes.
Side by side. Here it is for the lead. Jimmie Johnson dives under Brad Keselowski. Keselowski rides alongside, but Jimmie Johnson is going to take the position off of turn 4. New leader, Jimmie Johnson.
Just 3 laps remain here at Texas Motor Speedway. The fans bought their seats. They're not using them. They're standing, cheering for Jimmie Johnson as he makes the pass.
Who would have believed this with the dominance of Brad Keselowski all afternoon? Jimmie Johnson has taken the lead and he is stretching it away.
Brad Keselowski is fading behind the 48 after a day that he's had in Texas. It's Jimmie Johnson out front, down to the bottom of the racetrack, hugging the bottom of turns 3 and 4. 48, hard at it, off of 4.
Just 2 laps left. Jimmie Johnson saved the best for last. He again begins to pull away even more from Brad Keselowski.
However, Jimmie does have some lap machines right in front of him to contend with. He goes all the way to the bottom of the racetrack. His advantage over Keselowski has grown to about 10 car lengths.
Jimmie Johnson's got to hustle, and he's got to be careful with the lap traffic now as he leads again down the backstretch. He'll work down to the bottom of the racetrack. Now holding on to the white line now. Jimmie Johnson again in firm control of the lead off of turn 4.
1 lap to go for Jimmie Johnson as he comes back. He'll see the white flag. Jimmie Johnson rolls it easily down into turn 1.
Martin Truex in trouble. He's dropped back to the 7th spot, going very slowly. Here comes the race leader, Jimmie Johnson. Again, everybody giving him racing room. His advantage over Keselowski is huge.
The final time today, the 48 found what he needed at the end of this one in Texas. Here comes Jimmie Johnson for the final time, right at the bottom of turn 3. Stands back up on the throttle. The 48 heading for home.
Jimmie Johnson is going to win here at Texas after Brad Keselowski dominated the action. He denies Keselowski a chance to make the Final 4. And once again, Jimmie Johnson goes back to victory lane at Texas as he grabs the checkered flag in the AAA Texas 500.
Wow, Jimmie Johnson comes out virtually out of nowhere because everybody was just looked pitiful compared to what Keselowski had today, but 6-time got up there, made it interesting.
Speaking of 6 times, that's how many times he's won at Texas, and that is going to be his 5th win in the last 7 starts here in Fort Worth.
We now pause 10 seconds for Station 9.